Hi, I'm Nina Garcia. You are watching Chic.tv.
So I'm here with my pal Amy Silverberg, who is the fashion writer for In Touch magazine, and we just finished up with the Project Runway show. What did you think?
Well, I thought overall seeing all the designers was pretty incredible, but I definitely had my favorites. I thought some of the lines looked a little unfinished. I know that they were pressed for time. They had less time this season than they did last season. They only had about 2 to 3 months this time, where they had more like 6 to 7 last season.
Why so short this season, do you know?
I really don't know the reason why they had the short time to do it, but I think it actually showed. I mean, some of the looks just weren't fitting the models correctly. Some were, so it's an interesting mix.
So how do you get you excited?
Let's start the show.
So let's start with Jarrell. What did you think?
Well, I thought unfortunately Jarrell, he was the first one to show. He usually has very outgoing style, little ornate, but this look in particular that he showed looked unfinished. There were a lot of uncut threads. There were threads hanging from the dresses, and the bustiers looked way too big for the models. There was so much extra room. It really looked like he didn't finish.
Okay, and who was next?
Well, after Jarrell came Suede. This was an interesting, I don't even know how to describe it in all honesty. The colors were very Easter egg. The looks looked like what you dress your Barbie in, and a lot of them made the models look a lot bigger than they are because they weren't fitted to them.
And if they're not flattering on the models, there's no way they're flattering on everyday.
You know, I hate to be so critical, but I think it was more like a question of his taste. I think that he has bad taste.
Okay, hey, it's your job to be critical.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who else do we have?
Then was Joe, and he was influenced by Americana, rock and roll, motorcycles, and I actually really liked his collection. He did show denim, which was different. Everyone else showed a little more formal wear, but I thought that all the looks fit him. The denim was so well made. There were really intricate zippers, a lot of detailing. I thought even his, like he did an evening gown that was blue with white stars.
Was the gown denim?
No, the gown was actually more of like a silk.
Okay.
But it was cut on the bias, it looked beautiful on the model, and I really was impressed by his collection, and I've liked him throughout this season, and I think he really knows how to highlight the features of a woman.
And how did Kenley match up with all this?
Well, it wasn't my style, it was a little Alice in Wonderland, it was definitely her style, and I really did think that the collection was well made, and I thought that all the looks together looked good. Was it my taste? No, but overall there were bright colors, a lot of poofy sleeves, a lot of tulle, a lot of bubbled skirts, a lot of floral details. It was very girly, very fun, and it was well made. It just wasn't my favorite, and it didn't strike me as being something I hadn't seen before.
And then, of course, Kato.
Well, I was actually a little disappointed by her collection because throughout the series I really liked her stuff. And this was beautiful. It was sort of tribal influences, a lot of jeweled details. I liked it, but again, I thought what lacked was that it didn't fit the models properly, and that just really took away from like reviewing the clothes, because the whole time I'm thinking, oh, there's so much extra space in her back. Oh, I hope she doesn't have a wardrobe malfunction while she's walking down. You know, I did think that it was very unified. It definitely, you could tell that she thought about her inspiration a lot. She actually devoted it to her daughter, which I thought was really sweet. And she walked down at the end with her daughter. I did like her wedding dress. It seemed like all of them created a version of a wedding dress, and I did like hers. But I'd have to say my very favorite was Leanne. She was the last to show, and she really showed amazing. It was all cream and seafoam green. But the interesting part was the little fold she made on each look. It's really hard to make a show when you only show a few pieces like these designers did look unified, and she really mastered that. She was so consistent in the looks, yet each look was so different and beautiful.
But you had that one token fold on each piece.
Yeah, there was these folds on each piece, and they were so beautiful because some were all cream, some were cream with like mint green inside. It was really ladylike, feminine, wearable, which I think some of these designers might not have been thinking what's wearable. She definitely did, and I loved how she was so proud of it because it really spread, and I just really appreciated her work.
Now, Amy, you mentioned that a lot of the garments didn't actually fit the models. Do the judges take that into account?
I definitely think the judges take that into account. You're dealing with Michael Kors, whose collection was really flawless. His was also very American, kind of inspired by the Olympics, and although maybe that's not everyone's style, they looked so beautiful coming down the runway because they looked so good on the models. And you'd never really think how important fit is, but when you see gaps, when you see things hanging, when you see that the models look a little more curvier than usual, those are definitely points that are taken away from them. And they're also taken away, they take away from the creation of the designer. So I definitely think Heidi and Nina and Tim and Michael are gonna be taking fit into account.
All right, well, thank you so much for your insight, Amy.
Janice. This was awesome. Thanks, guys.
That was it? Thank you all so very